Hey guys, there are places that you come into the land to visit because of what happened there thousands of years ago. Biblical sites, places that commemorate things that only the archaeology can really tell you nowadays. But then there are places that you come and visit because something unique or unusual is actually happening right now. Modern, new initiatives and innovative places and unique people. And our guest today comes from a place that I personally think blends both of those things, which means it's honestly a perfect spot. Rotem is a tiny community that is perched on a hill that overlooks the entire Jordan Valley, and from it you can literally see the path that the Jewish people entered the land of Israel after wandering in the desert for 40 years and made their way finally into the land. In the winter, these hills turn almost an impossible green. It literally feels like you're walking through the set of The Sound of Music. It is absolutely stunning. It feels otherworldly. There's, beautiful dots of sheep on the hills and everything's bright green and in flowers. And in the summer, the same exact place turns into literal hell. It is so hot. It's the hottest place in the country, and it's dry and it's yellow and it's bare, and it literally is a desert. And in that intensely exposed hot desert, hidden beneath it are some of the largest and most beautiful natural springs that you can swim in. And honestly, it is a place that one must see in this country. And perhaps the community of Rotem itself kind of reflects that landscape. Rotem was founded with the radical idea that religious, secular, traditional Jews should all be able to build one community and without anyone being asked to dilute who they are, to change who they are, and really to come together and live together. Sounds so beautiful, right? Doesn't it? But the question is, does it really work? In this episode, I speak with Rachel Ben Sira, and we talk about the challenges of raising religious children in a genuinely mixed community. And we talk about a woman who left everything, left an army outpost, and literally came to a hilltop and created a town literally on her own while she just gathered people from all over. We talk about what October 7th revealed about living in a community with people with mixed political opinions. And also why more than 100 families are literally lining up and waiting to be able to join this absolutely unique yeshuv, this unique town. And of course, we dive into the Jordan Valley itself, its farms, the shepherds, the biblical landscapes, the unbelievable attractions and places that you can go see there. And one of the cafes in this country that is so good that people literally fly a helicopter from the center of Israel just to come and get lunch. But I will say that this conversation actually really made me think a lot about a much deeper idea. And I think about the people of Israel when they crossed over the Jordan River and they entered the land as one uniform group, but as 12 different tribes. And so how did these 12 tribes, carrying different identities and kind of like subcultures of their family units, cross one river and go into the land and become one nation? And what does that teach us today about unity? And I think it's such an important thing to think about, especially now we're in the 9 days or before Tisha B'Av. And what does it teach us about unity? So I'm definitely going to put all of those thoughts in a deeper Torah episode later on this week. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But first, let's hear from Rachel Ben Sira. Welcome to Rachel Ben Sira to Live the Land podcast. You live in one of the most unique places in the country, let alone in Yehuda and Shomron. You live in the town of Rotem, or in English, Rotem. I would bet that most people have never heard of Rotem and are probably like, what can we learn from this? So first of all, for people who haven't ever heard of this place, what is it and how did this incredible spot begin?
So I'll just say one sentence before I start the story, that for many years the feeling is that even people here that live in Israel or even know the land well don't know where Rotem is or what it is. And in the past few years, there's a great restaurant here that Franny will connect to later. Yeah, we'll talk about it after. But it's funny because I can go in many places in Israel, and I'm from Rotem. You have that cafe there. We've been there, like all over the country. Our name is out, so
It's true. Honestly, it's okay. We'll just plug it now, guys. It is literally one of the most delicious places that you'll ever go to. People come from all over the country to the middle of nowhere. That's where Rotem is located, the middle of nowhere, and it's incredible. We'll talk about it a little bit more. What can you actually do in this
Yeah.
region because it's a different section of Yudan and Shimon. So Yada, how did it begin? What is Rotem?
So Rotem is a settlement that before Israel was settled, the army would send out little groups to start as a little settlement to like prepare the land, build houses or whatever. And the thought that after friends would join or when they get married, they will come back and live and like the settlement will start and enlarge and
It'll be like a full town, a civilian
yeah.
town. It was a way,
So
honestly,
and
it wasn't even just in Yudan Shawan. It's actually mostly in the areas that are much harder to actually settle in, like the Jordan Valley. Rotem is located in the Jordan Valley. It's in the middle of the Jordan Valley. It's like the desert area. It's in between, right? And so that region is very hard to settle agriculturally. People don't necessarily want to go there. So the army kind of, I think they really wanted to pull people,
yeah,
and this was the way to
in
do it.
general, in Israel places it was hard to pull people. They started with the army to give like a base that people
Yeah.
can come to something ready already. So that's how Rotem started. And then around Oslo, the thought was that they're going to give back the Jordan Valley, so there won't be any settlements here. So why leave here soldiers? A waste of energy and people. And the army left the spot here. But they left the buildings they have here, few small buildings. There was a water tower that when whoever started Rotem came, it wasn't connected or anything, but there was like very basic foundations to start a settlement. Shira Amosi, she started Rotem literally on her own. After the army, I think that was like in the 90s, middle 90s, she traveled in Ethiopia. And she came back very inspired from her trip there. She was mainly there, and she understood that she wanted to live in a place that reminds her the inspiration she had in Ethiopia. That was something very very simple, very ancient. Like that you can feel that people have been through it for years, for generations, and it's still kept simple. And I think authentic is a word. It's maybe strange to use it and refer to the land, but something that stayed very real or alive or
Yeah. It's almost like, it sounds like it's almost like a lot of times, like, I don't know, you go into these big cities and you can feel like, okay, this city can literally be like uprooted and put anywhere, and I would feel the same. It sounds like it's like really a deep connection in the simplicity to the land itself, and like the life, the daily life is connected to that aspect.
yeah.
Would that, because that's what I feel when I go to Rotem. So she did a good job if that's the case.
Yeah. So she traveled all around Israel and she couldn't find a place. That was one condition she wanted, and the other condition is a place that every person can come and live here with no
I like
saying
limitations.
yeah. And she couldn't find any place like that. She went all over Israel, nowhere that she found herself that she can live. And I think after the terror started again, and they understood that Oslo is not going exactly where they were aiming to, they were talking about bringing back people to the Nachal outpost that were left as they are. And one of the places was Rotem. There's 4 settlements here in the Jordan Valley. That's their story. There were all the rest of the settlements in the Jordan Valley. There were already communities. Like not only the army was there, but there were based communities, agriculture communities. The people that were looking to get away from the city or wanted to live agriculture life. It
Yeah.
was a great opportunity for them. Although the conditions here that they're very hard, especially in this time of the year.
And the summer is brutal.
Yeah, summer
It's
is
brutal.
hard here. It gets above 40 Celsius during the
That
day.
is, that's for like all the non-Israelis. That's like well into the hundreds. Like it's hot. We're talking hot.
And you can
Hot
think
and
of it-
dry.
hot and dry, very dry. To my opinion, it's better than the humid of the coast, but that we can argue about that. So when people came here, then it was like there was no ACs like there are today. So you can just imagine what that meant to come here. So she met Bibi. There was, I think, prime minister also then, and they started talking about her coming here. And then I think there were politics on the way, and in 2001, Ariel Sharon, he gave the approval, or the final approval, to come and live here, because she was looking for a place that would be legal, not just to come and put her tent up wherever. So 2001, it was like, I think there was a time issue there, and like they said, okay, now. So she came here on her own now, and then there was no internet or Facebook or all the networks like today. She actually went around settlements or different places and hung up
Posters.
Yeah, looking for
Posters.
people to come and live with me. Who wants? Everyone is invited. No limitation. A beautiful place in the desert. And after a month, a couple came. That they all still live here, and they started bringing their friends. And I think from there on, that's how Rotem developed. Like, people came from friends, heard about Rotem, wanted to come, and today the lineup to get in, just because there's not enough space, like houses that people can come to, it's an enormous
huge.
lineup. Yeah.
It's huge. Wow.
So that's like how it started.
How
and
were
I
they
think-
living in the beginning there? Like, was it just caravans?
Yeah, so they were like the old army caravans or little rooms
Yeah.
that they used. They were still here.
Did they have electricity?
No.
Oh
In
my
the beginning,
gosh.
they had a little generator for a few hours a day, and the water, she would fill up bottles in the closest settlement, Mechola. She would fill them up, bring them back up. That was her water and electricity supply. Maybe that's part of it, but we still today have issues with the electricity and the water. We have a lot of time shortages. Yesterday, we didn't have here electricity. Yeah, the middle of July, and
Oh my
no
gosh.
electricity from 8:30 till 2:30 in the afternoon. Like,
And it's a heat wave. It was a heat wave yesterday.
yeah.
Oh my
So no,
gosh.
I think not most of the people didn't stay here. They went to some water source to spend the day. But I like it because it reminds me that there's first of all, things are not taken for granted. Like, I have water in my tap. I can say thank you for that. I have my AC on. I can say thank you for that.
Wow.
And it's like it just keeps the beat of life with lots of granted. Like, don't take anything for granted. And I think the area here, the land, tells that story as well. In the winter, it can look here like Sweden. Everything, the hills are completely green and lots of flowers, and everything's just
It's incredible.
Beautiful.
I'm very connected to the Jordan Valley because my husband's entire family lives there, and that's where he grew up. And I always said we have to have like a winter home in the Jordan Valley on the top of Rotem. She's not lying. We're gonna put up some pictures. It literally feels like you are in a crazy, like, beautiful mountains of flowing. It's like the sound of music. It looks like that. And then now, the middle of summer,
Now
what does it feel like, Rachel?
outside, and it's hot.
It's a
Very
desert.
dry. Everything's dry, yellow. In settlements that don't have huge trees yet, like here, the land is still very bare, and it looks like a desert. You feel like a desert. Nothing to do with what was here in the winter. Very
Yeah.
hard to imagine what was here and what would be here.
Wow.
It takes the extremes, I think, to each side, because even
It's
if
like
you
the
go
most extreme.
yeah, because even if you go to like the mountains, like Jerusalem or the Galilee, in the winter, it feels like there's not the green that's here because it's too cold, because the mountain is very rocky. Or something here, when it's green, the land is green, and when
Yeah.
it's dry and hot, the land is in desert. It's dry
Yeah.
and hot.
Yeah. That's
So
very
something from the
true.
extreme that, like, I think the land or before, it's like you can say, I don't know if it turned out a mistake that Shira came here, or this what worked out for her, but I think there's a lot of connection between the dream that Rotem started with, of having a community that all people can come, like from every side of the political map, or religious, non-religious. We can all have place and find our way and our space in this land. And I feel that the land, it just reminds us all the time, like every year, again and again and again, there's room for both of the sides of the, like,
Of the spectrum.
yeah.
Wow. That's
The very
really
green, the
beautiful
very
and deep.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So I have a question. Let's put it on the table. Rotem is one of the most unique communities because it is both a religious and a secular community, and it's fully religious and secular. It's not like we're a religious community and we have some secular people, or it's totally secular and we have our little, nice religious representation. It's actually, it really works in that way. And it's one of the few places that exists like that. And it's intentionally built to stay that way. Why?
Why? I think that because that's our nation. And in like a very simple way, that's who we are. But I feel like even our ancient teachers, they talk about it all the time, that the Torah is like held not in one opinion, or like everyone needs to, or there's not only one way to understand the Torah, to live the Torah, but there's a wide spectrum. And I think that's Israel. That's our, I don't know, our say to the world, that there's,
Yeah. Our message to the world.
yeah. And Rotem, I think, in many ways, it does that. That's how we try to live, and it works. Even,
Yeah, I want to ask
know.
you actually, what have you learned from living? Because you are a very practicing religious Jew. What have you learned about living with people who are very different than you, both like educationally with your kids and with yourself?
I think for me, it's quite easy. Like it was easy ahead of time. My mother she was born in a Christian family. My father and my mother, they made Aliyah from Canada, and they actually both did tshuva.
They became religious. They were secular.
Yeah, became religious. So all my mother's side family they're all Christian, religious Christians, and
Yeah.
my father's family, they're all secular. Like they go to the synagogue on holidays, or they celebrate tradition, but they're mostly secular. So I grew up holding those two sides of the spectrum,
Yeah.
or just that the title that you have on you, that doesn't make a difference in like who you relate to, or you're a person. There's a heart, there's a soul to every person, and with that you live. And I think before we came to Rotem, we were wandering around Israel looking for where we can build our house, or where we can join a community that we'll feel at home. And we went through a lot of places, religious places, secular places, farms, mixed places, and we didn't find ourselves in any of those places, because I think also the mixed places that are in Israel, the mixed communities, I mean, you said like they're or more to one side, or something in between, like not really here and not really there. And in Rotem, something that's very special, that I feel that the secular people are secular, the people that are in between and traditional, they're there, and there's very religious people there.
Right. There's kind of all of it.
It's all of
Wow.
it, without any side having to change himself, so to be able to meet the other side, or
Wow.
to round the corners to
Yeah,
find right
like
place. No, I can be who I am, and there's space for it. There's room for it. I'm accepted for who I am, and not. I don't need to change myself to fit in. And
right.
I think we felt that in a lot of places that we looked through. Not saying something bad about any of those places, but that was my feeling, that I can't really be myself, my fully self, because I have
You have to like play with, you have to like take into consideration all the different.
yeah. But
Yeah.
here there's something that like it lays out as a base that you can be whatever you want.
It sounds like that authenticity that we were talking about before, like that idea of the authentic, of being authentic. What are the challenges though? I mean, like we're painting this really beautiful picture of like all the people living together and everybody has their space and there's my truth and your truth. But like in real life, and I'm thinking just now, like in the political scheme of things, especially in Israel, but all over the world, we're like, well, I actually fundamentally disagree with you. So are there challenges that come up living in a mixed community?
So I think there's lots of challenges, like in life. When we came here, I remember I told someone, I said, "What? I left those challenges to come here, and I still find those challenges here." And said, "Well, you moved with yourself. Like the challenges that you deal with, they go with you wherever you'll go. The way you look at life, the way you contact with people." So I think that's one part of it. I mean, my girls were yesterday in a trip. In the youth trip, they went for 3 days, and that's always a challenge. How do people dress there? How the girls dress there in the summer? How do they go into water? Do they do mixed things? What music do they hear? So that I can say just from the last few days, that it's always a question if to stay out or if to be part, and how to be part.
Like educationally for your kids?
yeah, but also just as a community. If I come to a community event and there are songs that are not the songs I would want to hear at home, I don't know
Right.
if I want my kids to hear.
Right.
It's like it's something very minor, but
Yeah.
I think it brings up the challenges all the time in very little details. Um, but I think even with all the challenges, having the synagogue here, what kind of synagogue is it? Is there a place for reforms or a place for secular people to gather together and have their place for spiritual routines? Or is the synagogue here Orthodox? Or those
Wow.
questions are all the time, like they come up all the time. I think a lot of it is like whoever does. That's like and just like a guideline. Whoever wants to do and does, he has the respect and like
And
the
the
freedom
space.
to do in the way he
Yeah.
wants it to do, because he's acting and not staying aside and talking about.
Right. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if someone like came and visited for like a Shabbat, what would surprise them the most?
Maybe that it feels like everyone keeps Shabbat here. Everyone's like a lot of people. I think take the time of Shabbat just to relax, to be with families at home. There's a lot less cars on the roads or music or
Wow,
and
and
there's
that's
something
surprising. Yeah.
right. But I think it's like it's people, even the secular people, they drive on Shabbat and they do whatever they want. And it's, but but there's something I think that they take from the Shabbat, that they enjoy what it has to give them, and they can take it, and on the other side they're still free to do whatever they want. And the
Yeah.
religious people the same. Is something I think very, to me it's always still inspiring to see, here we can live together. It works. I don't know how it works
Yeah.
or what keeps it going, but it just is.
And how did October 7th change things in the you're saying it's a place that's both secular and religious, but also politically there's a balance between people who are farther on the left and people who are farther on the right.
um, it's interesting because I don't think it shifted a lot. I think people that were on the left side of the map are still there, and people that were on the right, like maybe even people on the right became more right, but um, I don't think it changed something very deeply. Um, it's funny because a few days ago I was talking to a friend here, a neighbor, that she's on the more on the on the left side, sorry, and I'm on the right side. And lately, in the last few years, I think since the war started here, um, there's lots of farms that
Yep,
people,
the new farms.
but not people like private people. They're going all the way with the army. Like the army paves the road to wherever the spot is of the farm, and the army puts there a new base and brings there all the like electricity, water, whatever needed, and then the farm goes up. It's like they're working
They're working
together with
together.
the government and the army. Um,
Although
so
not all of them. There are the farms that don't. Maybe not in the Jordan Valley.
I think in the Jordan Valley, something very special is happening in that way. That I think all of them are working with the government and with
That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah. It's I think it's something that hasn't been like that in Israel. I don't know
Yeah.
if in other areas it's like that, but here it's very the relationship or like them working together is very strong. So we
Yeah.
were talking about that. I told you, if there wasn't the farms here, we might have been in the same situation as the
As
South
Gaza.
was in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gaza envelope. Did
And
she
like we
agree?
had an argument about it. She said, "No, I disagree with you." So like the things are still there, and
Yeah.
but I think that's also neat. That it's like not because like life. We started the Rotem started after the Intifada started, like after the terror came back. It's like that's our story here. That's
Yeah.
what we deal with.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to just to respect your time, I wanna ask about something that's so important to our listeners. The Jordan Valley is literally the stop that like people don't really stop at. People see the Jordan Valley as like on the way to the Golan, between Jerusalem and the Golan,
Or to the
and
Dead Sea.
or to the Dead Sea. Yeah, from the north to the Dead Sea. It's like it's not really a place that people say. I'm as a tour guide, like I'm gonna go hang out in the Jordan Valley. So they rarely stop there. What is it that they're missing? What's like the best kept secret of this region?
So I can split it up to two, in the summer and in the winter. Or maybe we'll start with the summer. But in the summer, first of all, there's the café here. All it goes on all year long.
All year round, the coffee
All
shop.
year. Yeah.
You were telling me about helicopters.
helicopters come from the center to land to eat at the cafe here.
So if you
Something
have the
very
money and the willpower, this is when our listeners want to come to Yudan Shimon and they go to Judea Samaria Experience and they say we want people to hook us up so we can go to Café Rotem, the coffee shop there, and we want to go by helicopter. That's the challenge you should give to
It's
Judea
been
Samaria
done
Experience.
before, so you can do it.
That's how good it
Um,
is, guys.
yeah, no, it's amazing. It's the word is spread all over Israel. There's amazing springs here in the summer, although the heat and the dryness and it looks like hell outside.
Yeah.
There's springs here that are like I don't know bigger than
They're
Olympic
huge.
pools, huge,
And they're
huge
blue
sources of
and they're
water, amazing, and like it's something I think there's nothing like it all over Israel, that's for sure.
yeah.
And I think no, I don't know if there's places in the world that have springs like we have here. So that's another thing. Franny put up a link for Eretz Hamayanot, Springs
Yes,
Land.
it's the land of the springs. Honestly, guys, it's like imagine you have like reeds around you, and you can literally you get in your car and you stop at one spring and you swim, and it's huge and it's blue, beautiful. It's incredible. And then it doesn't feel hot anymore because the springs are cold. And then you go to the next one and you hang out there, and you go. And each one has its own little like energy. It's free.
And it's
It's
free. I
free.
think there's more than 10 like springs that you can
Huge.
go
Yeah.
through, and so that's like I think the highlight of the summer here, because even if you go to the cooler places of the country, there's no springs like we
Not
have
like
here.
that. Yeah.
I'm
They're
sorry.
not. It's true. I'm a tour guide.
No,
You're
no
right.
place in Israel like this. So I think you have to come here just to experience or even see it. That's me.
Yeah.
In the winter, it's amazing here. I think there's no place like here with the flowers growing, with the greenery, with you can see it's I don't know, it's going to the sound of music, like sheep's on the hill grazing.
Yep.
Um,
Beautiful lookouts.
if
Beautiful
you want
hiking.
some quiet, slow down in time in the beat of the city, this is a place to come to.
If you had to tell, if our visitors had to come winter or summer, what do you say?
Wow, it's hard. I think winter because it's beautiful, and if you don't mind the cold water, you can enjoy the springs as well. So you can enjoy everything together. But then, no, I don't know. You won't have the experience of the desert. I feel like the heat. You have to slow down.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to slow down, it's like it's just to open your heart and enjoy it. I was saying
Wow.
about the Bible too that like I go out of my house and I can see the place where the Israel nation where they crossed into Israel and came in, and
Wow.
5 minutes away here by car is where Yaakov Avinu came in and out of the land when he went. So I feel like the stories they're so alive here. Like you can see where Balak stood, and there was the whole story with Bilam and Balak, and like the stories here come alive, and the land. It seems like you can imagine that that's how it was 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Not much has changed.
Yeah.
Here,
That's you're.
few more settlements, but something very, very authentic, very ancient, very. We're on the Kedem side of Israel.
Yeah, the
relating to
eastern
Rotem.
side, relating to our other one of our other videos. Yes, it's the eastern side. It's going back to the roots. People say that the Jordan Valley, though, it's so remote and it's too strategic to ever really become like a thriving civilian region. So if I were to ask you like 20 years from now, what do you think they'll be wrong about?
I think more and more people are looking for places that they can build their house in a simple way, enjoy the quiet of life. More and more people are coming here. Like the proof for it is that the waiting list to come into Rotem is very long. Over 100 families that are waiting for years to come and join us.
Wow. Wow.
And like we
Wow,
need
that
to
says a
speak
lot. That says a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, so people want to come here. People want to be part of it. I can tell you that we started a school here. That's next year is going to be the 4th year of the school. We started grade 1 to 4 with God's help. And I think education or something different in the education people are looking for. People want something different for their kids. They understand that the speed of life or the demands of life, that's not it. Like,
Yeah.
you understand it's not the real thing. That's not what the heart and the soul is looking for. So I think with those quests, people come here, although it's not easy and it's hard. Maybe the Jordan Valley is also one of the last places in Israel that you can still have your property or land for people who are looking to grow agriculture.
Right.
It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Well, even if I'm saying if you come here, there's so much agriculture to see. Like the dates are the best dates in the world. They grow here. There's olives here. The grapes they grow here are wow, sweet in the summer, sweet and amazing. And just I was driving a few days ago here in the area, and I was amazed by seeing how our food grows, and that's what surrounds us. It's I don't know. To me, it's just amazing. It's amazing to be able to be part of it, to be in relation with those areas in our life.
Yeah. It's going back to what you were saying. You see that not everything is a given. Like you see where your food comes from. There's like the whole shepherding community, the farm communities. You see where it is. You understand what the heat means and how to survive there. And you understand that there's this, even though it seems like the opening of hell, literally, during the summer, you know that in the winter, everything flips. There's something very powerful about how all of those things seem to be very connected. I'm gonna run into the last part of our interview, and it's rapid fire. So I'm just gonna ask you a series of questions, and you answer them as quick as you can. Okay? Ready? Your favorite spring in the Jordan Valley?
Oh, and Sukkot, easy.
In Sukkot, guys, you have to go to In Sukkot. Literally, it's a must.
It's a must. There's so many people there, so like
I know
that's
you're gonna. That's true. I know you're gonna answer this one because of your location, but I'm gonna see if I'm right anyway. Sunrise or sunset?
Wow, son, it's hard.
Really?
Hard question. I would say sunrise just because I'm a morning person.
Okay, so Baba, I was sure you were going to say sunrise because the sun literally rises in the east, and when it sets over the hills, it's like a different view.
No, but the sunsets here. Wow, we were standing yesterday and watching the sunset with such a nice breeze. In the evening, it's nice here. It's not hot. We're outside. There's a beautiful breeze, and the sunsets here over the hills are amazing as well.
Okay. Coffee at Café Rotem or a campfire coffee outside?
Easy campfire.
But you should still come to the coffee.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite biblical character and who you would want to hang out with while you're drinking that coffee if you could just sit down with anyone from the Tanakh?
Wow. Maybe our mothers?
You have to pick one.
Good
Rachel.
question. Yeah, sure.
That's your name.
Talk about ourselves a bit.
Okay, one word that describes Rotem.
I would say togetherness. In Hebrew, I would say the word mifgash, but you can translate it in a few
Meeting
ways.
place.
Yeah. Meeting place. I think with yourself, with your community, with the land you're on, but something that invites you for a meeting.
Wow. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad that the internet and the electricity all stayed on for the whole duration of our interview. And I hope that all of our listeners now definitely have this as a spot that they have to come and actually see.
Wow. It's a place for inspiration. There's great simmers here you can stay on. Literally amazing simmers.
They're beautiful.
You have to come here.
And also there's like goat farms, there's cafes, there's springs, there's sun, great
There's
people.
nice people here.
Great people.
If you come by, you can always knock on a door or stop a car on the way, and people will be more than happy to talk to you and just say hello and meet you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rachel. If this episode helped you better appreciate Judea and Samaria, you can take it to the next level with the Judea and Samaria experience. They can help you plan meaningful visits to this region, off the beaten sites, tour guides, connect you to local personalities, and guess what? This referral service is completely free thanks to our generous sponsors, Texans for a Safe Israel. Check them out at their website, JudeaSamariaExperience.com. That's Judea without an H, SamariaExperience.com. You won't regret it.